Hey everyone, in this video we want to talk to you a little bit about the liver and supporting your liver's ability to detoxify your body. And the reason we wanted to touch on this one is simply because there's a very persistent belief in primarily the evidence-based crowd that, supplements or dietary interventions that detoxify your body are bullshit. And
where the hell did they even get that idea? Like, ever since I've entered into the fitness realm, because I initially started in the health.
Yeah.
But that's the crowd that thinks that. And I'm like, are you fucking insane?
Yeah, I have no idea.
That's just not true.
I really have no idea where it started.
And there's plenty of evidence to show otherwise.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, frankly, I think that the whole issue is that ideas get conflated. And so what I mean by that is, on the one hand, you have people well, I guess it starts with the alternative crowd, really, because that's where kind of this detox stuff really.
Yeah, they think good vibes cures cancer.
Yeah,
and heals the liver.
Yeah, so the alternative crowds basically came up with a bunch of supplements, a good proportion of which don't work, and all they do is waste your money. Yep. And so the evidence-based crowd.
We need to be extreme on the other end.
Yeah, exactly. So the evidence-based crowd pushes back by saying, no, like your liver's fine, you don't need to do any of this stuff to support it.
It's that black and white dichotomous thinking.
Yep, false dichotomy. Either it works or it doesn't, but that's not true. And, there's a plethora of data out there that shows that taking certain supplements or herbs or even eating certain diets helps facilitate your liver's ability to metabolize toxicants and then excrete them.
And regenerate, right?
Exactly.
Supplements.
Exactly. And so this idea that you don't need to worry about any of that is kind of bogus, because how do you know you don't need to worry about that? Especially when you consider things like non-alcoholic fatty liver disease affecting at least 1/3 of the general population, here in the US anyway. A lot of people need extra liver support. We also have a bunch of data in people undergoing weight loss that shows that they secrete toxicants from their fat tissue at an accelerated rate, and that the secretion of toxicants actually predicts the changes in health parameters that occur with weight loss. And this might be one reason why, even though two people lose identical amounts of weight, the changes in their health parameters are different. Or maybe one person struggled with energy levels and feeling sick early on, and it was because of it, and the other didn't. And it's because of that increased toxicant load. We have actual review articles where researchers say, why aren't toxicants and their release from fat tissue being more considered in obesity research? And so we have a bunch of data showing that we accumulate toxicants and they are a health problem. And we can facilitate their excretion from our body in a safe manner by taking certain supplements or eating certain foods and eating in certain dietary patterns. And so the notion that people are like, you don't need to worry about any of that, it's bogus, those people are just completely wrong. And anyone who says that has just demonstrated that they have no idea what they're talking about. And
they are just as bad as the people that are meditating on getting rid of their cancer and thinking it's just going to magically disappear.
Yeah, or the ones pushing a whole bunch of really supplements that just aren't necessary.
Yeah, it's no different. It's just the opposite end of the spectrum.
Now, does that mean you should do things like, Master Cleanse or a bunch of other commercial detox programs, that type of thing? No, because those are completely bogus. All they do
Most of the stuff on the market has ineffective doses in it of supplements.
Or things that just straight up don't work, regardless of the dose.
So what would be your favorite supplement stack for detoxing and liver regeneration?
Okay, so before I answer that though, detoxing basically has 3 components. The first is you want to reduce your exposure to toxicants. We aren't going to go into that in this video, but it's like, for example, if you're hanging around in a more polluted city with air pollution, that's a toxicant and you're accumulating that stuff in your body. Same with cigarette smoke and secondhand smoke. So minimizing your exposure to that type of thing. The second one is they're supporting your liver's ability to metabolize these toxicants. There are 2 established phases of detoxification. There might be a third one, but that one is kind of back and forth. But the two that we know for sure is the first, your liver takes toxicants and turns them into even more harmful compounds. That's phase one. That's things like the CYP enzymes that metabolize caffeine. And the second phase takes those more harmful compounds and neutralizes them so that they're water soluble or lipid soluble and completely benign, so that your body can then excrete them either with bile or in your urine through your kidneys. So we need, and then you have the excretion component, which is supporting, for example, you don't need to do much to support peeing, but you need to do stuff that binds bile and prevents it from being reabsorbed into your body. So 3 parts. So when you asked me, what would I recommend for helping like the liver metabolize toxicants? First and foremost, you need to eat a diet that's adequate in protein, because adequate protein and amino acids, and oftentimes a lot of the vitamins that come with them, like the B vitamins, are involved in these detoxification processes. And so that's number 1. After that, as far as like specific herbs go, things like sulforaphane, ginger, garlic, and milk thistle, which is...
What do you think about NAC?
NAC, definitely, because they all work in similar but different ways. NAC is actually a good example, though. Another example of why people who say you don't need to do anything to support detoxification are completely just stupid. I'm going to use NAC as an example. The most common cause of liver failure in the US is acetaminophen overdose. That's Tylenol. And the reason it causes liver failure is because the way your body detoxifies Tylenol, acetaminophen, is that it binds it to glutathione and then secretes it. Glutathione is made from NAC, along with glycine. And so glutathione is one of like the master antioxidants in the body. So by depleting glutathione in the liver, you see increases in oxidative stress from other causes, and not good things happen. So how does the medical profession deal with overdose? They give you NAC. Why? Because it supports the liver's ability to detoxify acetaminophen. Medical, like the actual medical establishment is using these well-established,
This happens all the time in medicine too. Them using like actual, like when you overdose on a medication, they give you charcoal. But charcoal's ineffective in these evidence-based crowds. It's fucking mind-boggling.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you know medicine, then you know that they use some of these herbs, and most medications are made from herbal extracts. So it's just bonkers to me.
Yeah. So, so it's just another perfect example of why what we're talking about right now isn't bogus. So you get things like sulforaphane, or literally virtually like every other phytochemical in existence. Your liver doesn't like them. Your liver thinks that they are a toxin. And so what it does is but they aren't toxic. And so, but your liver responds in that way. So you see upregulations of like NRF2 and the master antioxidant element, or the antioxidant response element. And what these things do is it basically upregulates all of the enzymes in your liver that are responsible for detoxification. And so all these chemicals kind of trick your liver, so to speak, into upregulating its ability to detoxify actual toxicants. And so basically, you know, this is one of the reasons why eating plants are so consistently associated with health benefits, is because of this. And then, so once your liver has like gotten all these compounds and tries to excrete them, any of them that come out in bile, 95% of your bile gets reabsorbed. So how do you prevent that from happening? You consume things like, well, activated charcoal is one option. Another is just fiber, especially soluble fibers.
So those carnivores and the fiber menace folks and the repeat folks that aren't eating fiber.
Yeah, they're doing a disservice.
To avoid endotoxins, which we already did a video on how fiber interacts with that.
Yeah, and so basically those fibers bind to bile, prevent its reabsorption, which means that the toxicants secreted with the bile are also not reabsorbed. And then you just poop them out. And that's how you get those out of your body. So, I mean, just eating a diet rich in a diversity of plant foods is going to get you most of the way there, quite frankly. But if for whatever reason you're not doing that, then
or you have bad habits,
then
like most of America.
Yeah, then targeted supplementation can be beneficial. I mean, it could be as simple as like using sulforaphane as an example. You can go to any health food store, buy like a container this big of broccoli sprouts for like $5, and then all you need to do is just eat like 1 finger worth of that. It'll last you that container will last you 2 weeks, and you just eat this. Yeah, if it doesn't mold. But point being, you just eat this much broccoli sprout, and you're getting hundreds of milligrams of sulforaphane. That's going to provide you immense benefits for your liver. Just that one compound alone.
Well, and just a lot of people have like estrogen dominance too from being over fat too. That hammers the liver. And
yeah.
So I think you do need support if you're not going to walk around being lean because you say you enjoy life more than other people, which isn't true, but whatever.
Yeah. So point of this video being detoxification is a very real thing, and we have a tremendous amount of literature showing how we can affect each of the stages of detoxification.
Yep.
It just takes mostly just eating a diet that's rich in plants, really, or using targeted supplements like NAC.
In effective doses too, like most of the stuff on the market saying detox on it is not going to help you.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You need an actual targeted supplement, which means that compound in an effective dose.
Yep, exactly. So if you like this video, then great, that's what we're trying to do. And if you know someone who has like a fatty liver and needs some help detoxifying it, then send this their way. Thanks.